Guys, this is Skinless, the guild leader for the Alliance Guardians, and today we are going to be looking at the journey guide for Chewbacca. So this is a legendary that a lot of players tend to struggle with. It's very RNG based. It was the very first event that we had that actually had the ability of where the enemy actually had full turn meter upon entering the battle. So there's a few different ways to go about it. The easiest way, literally the very easiest way, is to get your Bossk up and going. But I figured I would do the tiers 5, 6, and 7, and I would use a different leader each time to kind of demonstrate that you can do it with other leaders. But really, at the end of the day, your Bossk is going to be your hero. The higher your Bossk is, as far as gear goes, the better, because this is going to specifically increase your protection, and he's going to taunt for you and give a lot of other benefits along with speed, and it's just a much better way to do this event. However, some players have gone for other routes, and I want to show that you can specifically do that. So we're going to go ahead and go into the event here and start off with tier 5. And with tier 5, we're going to go ahead and start off with a Jango Fett lead. So not every player is going to have Jango Fett as your lead, but this is a very popular tune to use and for individuals to have unlocked. So especially with the fact that you get the Houndstooth on the same node, a lot of people are farming it, actually. So there are some people who are going to have your Jango Fett as your lead. Now, I've got mine at a gear 11 with no Zetas whatsoever, and then I have the generalized, I guess, the staples, per se, you would use for this event. So, Dengar is a must for this. The rest are really up for debate, but I do really enjoy using Boba Fett, Greedo, and Cad Bane. So those are some options for you. Now, you can use any bounty hunters whatsoever, but know that your thermal detonators aren't going to be the same potency that you'd have in other game modes. So you're going to want some damage output specifically, as well as some cleanses. So that's where I brought in some stuns and some other abilities. So let's go ahead and jump into the tier 5. So with tier 5, nothing too crazy. This isn't RNG based, so you saw that everyone attacked beforehand. I'm going to go ahead and use the fire here, and we're going to use the same method each time here. I'm going to go ahead and try to use debilitating attacks, and your first opponent you're going to take down is always going to be Chewbacca. So the reason you always take down Chewbacca is going to be that he has the greatest pool of health, as well as he does the assists. He does a lot of different extras that do make this event harder. So you can even see that my gear 11, gear 10 tunes are having some trouble here. Not every time are you going to run into that. It's a very RNG based thing. I did 3-star this my very first attempt with some lower gears, but it does have its back and forths. So Jango lead isn't exactly the most the best lead for this role, but it is a decent one. So we're going to go ahead and take out R2 next, since he is going to be able to do the stealth and kind of bring everyone to have the foresight and things like that. So we're going to go take him out, and which we did, and then you go ahead and take out Han Solo, since he is your damage dealer specifically. I don't necessarily watch for payouts when we are doing this. Now, normally you'd say, oh, well, you know, we need to get the payout, we need to get the payout, we need to get the extra stuff, and that's fine and dandy if you survive to do it. So you saw that it was a bit difficult to do so at the 5-star with a Jango lead, but we still did it all the same. No Bossk was included. So let's go ahead and take a look at tier 6. So tier 6, I'm going to go ahead and change it up here, and we're going to go ahead and put a Boba Fett lead in here. So this one here, comparatively, so you've got the extra critical damage and the crit chance that you're going to get a little extra speed and some extra potency. So a lot of things that are going to be beneficial to your run as far as for damage output. Once again, we're not going to use Bossk for this. I'm going to go ahead and show you the tier 6 run, and it is very RNG based. So not everyone is going to immediately first try get this down. it is a hard event because they get these chances. So we can already see we're already down 1 toon. So we're gonna go ahead and put some there. Go ahead and the reason why I'm using the fire specifically is that the fire actually takes the opponent and they lose a percentage of their health. So you can kind of see what we're doing here. We're gonna continue along. We're down to less toons, and it's just not going super well. So that's fine and dandy. That's not the end of the world. We're gonna go ahead and just take our R2 real quick as soon as we can. And that's gonna kind of show you the fact that even though I have great toons, you can lose very easily. So while I don't always want to show a failure, I did want to show how RNG based this truly is. So we're going to go ahead and jump back into this one, and I can show you how the run will go so much different without changing any aspects of the whole run. We're going to go ahead and take some stuff here. We're going to go ahead and bring some stuff there. So we are forced to go after R2, but that's fine. We're going to take a full run there. Go for R2. Since we can only go for R2, it only makes sense to continue going after R2 in my opinion. Specifically based upon the toon that he is. Now you can see it's a very, very different run this time. So instead of us being down 2 toons, well, they're already down 2 toons. In fact, we can just go ahead and pop him out and pop her out almost. There we go. We got the damage immunity on Django, and that was a 3-star run. So you can see that it can go multiple different ways. So you have to give it a few tries, but you can do it without having to have Bossk once again. So my gear levels are a decent level. Gear 11, I mean, they're not gear 13, but they're an option. So now what we'll go ahead and do is I'm going to show you how much easier it is to do with Bossk. As far as Bossk goes, yes, mine is gear 13, but a gear 12 has the same essential effect and really just almost cheeses this event. So we're going to go ahead and jump back into the same thing. It's all about RNG to begin with. The higher your Bossk is, the less RNG you have to worry about. Because he's stunned, I can't put the taunt out there, but this is still a great way to go. I'm going to go after Chewbacca to start. As I mentioned beforehand, it's really the way to start because of his offensive capabilities and the fact that he has the Guardian aspect where he is going to attack whenever whenever the weakest as well as Han attacks. So we're going to go ahead and get some taunt there, and you can kind of see I'm just tanking a lot there, and this is a really, really crazy RNG event. So even with my relic, I'm starting to struggle, but I get the heal, which is nice. But we're going to go ahead and keep going, keep pushing, and just there we go. We should expect Chewie to go down here very soon. Woo! So you can see, once again, there's a loss. But if we do the same exact thing, once again, you can see that it has a very different effect. So the run is already extremely different. We got the taunt out there early. We can only attack R2 instead of Chewie, but it's still a different run. So it's very, very RNG based. I know I say that over and over again, but it's really just trying to explain the fact that, yes, it is a hard-ass event, but if you keep at it, you keep trying, you're going to get a different result when you play it again and again. So even if you get wiped out of the water don't think it's necessarily like, oh, it might not be your mods, it might not be your tunes. It could just genuinely be just a bad run. This time you can see we've already killed Chewie. We don't have anyone dead, but we've already taken out Chewie and we've already taken out R2. So while you can see some negative runs, there's a lot of positivity to it as well. So there we go, and we can go ahead and use the last move there, and you've gone ahead and finally got yourself a 7-star Chewbacca. So you can only use bounty hunters for this event, but this way you can kind of see it has the RNG, but also the aspect of getting yourself ready for the event. So I do hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, I request that you give me a like, or if you want to see other of my content, give me a subscribe to my channel if you'd like, but no requirements, so otherwise I appreciate all of you viewing today, and Skinless is out.